Welcome back to the channel, Farming with Nick. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are on Iowa Plains View, and we are going to do a custom farm build, and actually we're going to make an abandoned farm. Here is our Iowa Plains View map. We are up here right now at the shop. We are actually going to buy this top upper left hand corner parcel, and go ahead and buy that. Perfect. And actually we can just get into our build mode from there. If you've played on this map before, you'll know that that parcel was actually set up as an abandoned farm, which is pretty cool. It says land for lease, abandoned farm, 50% off. So it has a bunch of decorations, a couple buildings, a bunch of supplies, construction equipment out. Looks pretty cool. So I liked this idea when it came out. So actually, we are just going to make a quick build today. Sell all that decoration. And we're left with this. So, let's get right into it. Farmhouses. And let's put a farmhouse down. Let's see, how's that one look? It's not too bad. Doesn't look completely abandoned. But that's okay. Probably put that right about there. That's fine. And then let's go up to sheds. Let's put something down that looks like it's been there for a while. Has it been maintained? Perfect. Here we go. The old barn. Something like this will work great for our build. Wonder if there's one. Thought there was one that had. There it is. That's the one I was thinking of. The doors. The doors aren't even on anymore. Even better. Let's kind of put that. There's that big pile of debris. And just put it off to the side right there. Maybe right on. Oh yeah, you could put it right on that bush line right there. There we go. Kind of even fits right in there with those bushes. Coming right up. Hasn't been cleared in a long time. Add some more buildings to our abandoned farm. There's another little shed. Let's kind of put this back here. That works. Another old garage. There we go. And let's see what else would kind of fit this style in this farm. And there we go. Kind of like, just pretend it's an older type hay shed here. So pretend it would maybe come off of the farm. There, that works. And let's go back. See if there's anything else that would kind of fit this. This style. About this white farm. This is from the USA White Farm Buildings pack. Now it looks good. And maybe See these like little extensions. You know, these kind of come off of here like that. That looks good. And I know I built right on the edge there, but that's gonna look good because our driveway probably not maintained the best anymore. Let's go into here. Pretend once upon a time there was cattle in here. So we had a old manure pit here. Put some old silos here on our barn as well. And let's see, maybe they were kind of next to our barn out here. Potato silo. Another little multi-fruit silo. Maybe this came off of the hay shed. You could drive through the hay shed, get to that. Place another like a wooden multi-fruit silo there. Looks pretty good. And that was for the barn back in the day. Yeah, do like a liquid manure tank there as well. Could come by. And maybe out here put a root crop storage. Maybe our farm used to put root crops in there out back. Let's see what else. And oh yeah, perfect. Need a hay loft. And let's see. And maybe our hayloft is actually out here. Kind of drive around the barn. And it was kind of a round. Place it there. Let's see if we have any other silos. Let's just use something that would kind of fit in. Let's just use a regular old farm silo here. I'll place it right there by our manure tank. How about, it's kind of a little too big. I want to cover up our, there we go. Pretend that was our silo right there next to our multi-fruit one. Alright, and then let's go through. Maybe we had an old water tank on the farm. Kind of out back here by our hay. Couple other farm implements. Some of our tanks out here by the water tank. There we go. Tools, anything that would fit this kind of a style. Maybe this one. Oh, we already kind of have a garage. Alright. And animals. A big cow barn, but I feel like we could use that original one. We would say that was our cow barn. So let's go up to pigs, and I think I actually have, yeah, an old pigsty. And they're no longer on the farm, but our old pig building is. Yeah, maybe we had it that way. Kind of through those. Yeah, that works good. Okay. And let's get up to decoration. And we'll go down to fences right away. There we go. And we'll actually put no fences there. We'll pretend that farmer came and took those out. Kind of wanted to get going on utilizing the rest of the farm. Same thing there. We won't put any fences. Let's come around here to our old barn. And pretend you can kind of see where the old fence was right there. Yeah, that works good. Maybe there's a little bit of fence line coming off of there. And we'll jump over to the front. Fence line there. And then pretend this fence line, you can kind of still see it. Maybe it goes past here. And then, yeah, once upon a time, it was connected. And then it keeps going here. And then off of this drive here to get into our farm. Pretend that there was the corner of one of our old pastures. And then off of that, you can kind of still see some of that original fence line that went back. And then the rest of it's just gone. And here we'll kind of, oops. We'll extend that a little bit too. But yeah, then it's just missing some sections there, which is what you do see around as well. You see that a lot. But just a little bit of a fence line, maybe it's still there as well, but the rest of it's all gone. Alright, and then kind of around our hay barn, I think we'll probably just leave that open, put a little bit there. Because at one time, we wouldn't want our cattle going through there. And then maybe in here, same thing. You can kind of see a little bit of that old fence line that's still around our grain bins. Great. Okay, let's go up to our landscaping now. And we're going to leave a lot of the painting and some of that stuff. I mean, just a little bit, but we're not going to change much. Because like I said, we want to make this look like it is abandoned. At one point was a fully functioning farm. some of these spots probably would have grown in by now, but maybe there's still some patches of dirt that are in there, especially on the insides of these buildings. And this is where the pigs would come out. So maybe that's still a little muddier there. Not fully came in. I think that looks good. And there's some of this concrete you can still see there. Mostly grass though. Perfect. Let's go up to plants now. And let's start putting some plants down right away. So here's our fence line. Start putting bushes down. Some bigger ones. There we go. Don't want to overdo it. But at the same time, you want to make it look like it's been there a while. There we go. Kind of hide that fence without making it look too crazy. There, that's good. Yeah, I get some of those bushes right in the front of where the doors used to be. You see that a lot too. It's cool old barns by the road, and see where they used to have fence lines. Some of the old barns where they used to stand, because you can kind of see the imprint of them. It's really cool. Just trying to hide this fence line now, as you can tell. Just kind of using a mixture of different bushes. And like I said, this is probably where the fence line used to be. Now it's gone. And honestly, it's, you think about it, it's probably still in the ground there. And that's why these bushes are still kind of there. Just because of that old fence line being in there, probably wasn't taken out of the ground. So it kind of retains some of its shape right there. Great, and come up here. Can add some around this old fence. And to this side real quick. And put some in here. Gonna come around right by the main barn here. Fill that in as well. See that pile of dirt just happened to be right on where we used to be able to dump and put our grain for our animals. Go back over here to our hay barn. Kind of grew up around here. You can't even drive through there anymore. There we go. So all I'm doing really is just adding a bunch of bushes around the farm just to make it look like it really has not been maintained. Obviously, no one's been here to mow it, clip the weeds down. It's really just a Old family farm being passed down, and don't want to get rid of it. Keep the property. Maybe they rent the rest of the fields out that the family used to farm. Rent those out to other people now. There we go. And then put some around our old pig barn as well. Kind of grew up around there. Same thing. Probably wouldn't happen in there, but out here, used to be able to see all that in there. That's all kind of just grown up. Well, great, there we go. And kind of leave the garage a little more open. Pretend they probably still come in there. Put some around the house there. Great, and let's go to trees. And let's start placing some trees around. And just using different mixture of trees. Place them right on the buildings as well. Put this right on the fence line. Let's put this one kind of back here. There we go. Put that one right in front. And use that barn in a long time. There we go. Come over here. Keep adding some trees. Let's add some of the shagbark hickories. There we go. And sometimes that does happen in nature too. If you've noticed, there's like a line of oak trees, or there's a handful of maple trees in that same area. And they all come from that first tree, and then just kind of spread, and if no one maintains the area or cuts the grass around it, then more of that same tree will happen to grow up. So you can see our old, right there on the bottom, that's the first old gate right there that would get into our pasture. And we'll put some around here. And there's a bigger tree right on that fence line right there. And even in there. Put some around here. Because like I said, and that's what usually happens. Those trees will grow up anywhere. As soon as you stop kind of maintaining the area, it's usually when trees will just start to grow up and take over again. Put one right on our pig barn, maybe a couple. One coming in our shed right there. Opposite side too. And there's a big old shagbark hickory right here, coming right over the barn now. These days too. There we go. Trees that were not there. And this was a sprawling farm, even in our manure pit. There's a couple trees growing. I'll put one right on the house too. So like I said, maybe they come maintain the house a little bit, but otherwise it's kind of getting overgrown a little bit. On the inside there we have some leftover dirt. Kind of pretend this was maybe a pond or some other type of structure at one point. Go into painting. See if it gives me the forest ground. Oh, it does. And there. Go back to plants. Let's put some grass in there. And this is just the forest ground right now. I'm going to put some bushes in there. Kind of change it out. I'm just switching up bushes. That's all I'm doing here. Let's go back to these larger ones. Just overgrown now. It was an old garden at one point. And that's where they put their flagpole. That sort of thing. But no longer kind of just overgrown, not maintained. You see that too on a lot of farms. They used to probably have beautiful gardens, great landscaping, and just a lot to take care of. And sometimes you can see where they used to have things, or certain flower beds and everything, and now it's just not there. But you can kind of make out where it used to be. So I'll kind of put some of these small service berries, even though they can get much larger than this. But it's been a while, so even these service berries are starting to grow up in here. Perfect, there we go. And kind of looking around. And in here, yeah, that's where we have to put some grass down there for sure. Got missed with our building real fast. There we go. And that's kind of getting grassy now too. So I won't even put a road going out to this. Probably just grew over. It used to. As you can see, maybe it came off of these tanks. You could kind of go through here. You could turn and drive through and go through the hay shed here. You could go this way. And there's probably gates here or fences that came off of this main barn around the hay barn. And even in that one on the side, now it's so grown up you can't even see it. The one that we put in there in the first place. Okay, so here is our final kind of tour of our abandoned farm. We have our fence line coming off of the main highway right here. You can kind of see the corner of it, kind of lined with trees and shrubs that are still there. And sometimes the fence line kind of disappears, or it has actually just broken down into the ground. However, the trees that were there still exist and kind of maintain that fence line look. all the way up to our main drive here. And I added a couple lights and a couple old vehicles off camera real quick, just so you can see. And then we have our old barn here. Doesn't even have a drive anymore. Trees have grown up right in front of that. Can't even get to it. We have our old like garden feature here in the center. Our house to the right. An old tractor just kind of sitting there. Maybe they still use it a little bit. Kind of do some plowing and maybe maintain this little pile of gravel they have here. We have our barn, or our garage here, followed by our first little barn here. We have an old harvester and a couple other machines around here. Old pig barn right here. No fencing anymore in the back, as the farmer took all that fencing out so they could use the field, and we actually just rented out then. A couple other old vehicles, and no paths anymore as the grass is just grown over the gravel. Can't even see it. An old hay barn here, some grain, other silos. A couple other vehicles there. You can see used to be an old fence line coming off of this barn. Maybe they did have animals on there at one point. Old hay barn that's still here. And no fences out here after that opening fence, as like I said, the farmer probably uses that, and they got rid of all that to rent out. Got an old grain silo up there, manure pit, some trees growing in it, and then nice old shagbark hickory right on our old barn here. And that's our tour. So thank you so much for joining me today on our abandoned farm build. I hope you liked it, and thank you very much. Take care.